Well, well, well. Hello and welcome. We are up against Roy Cobbs, 2010. Cobbs famously is the name of Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception, if I remember right. So we're up against with someone from the Inception era. And this is a Budapest Gambit Rubinstein Coral Rickel Gambit variation. Everybody knows about this line. It's a famous line. Typically, very often players will just repeat moves and it's a drawn game. But more recent times, people play a bit more sporting chess and you don't get those kind of dull drawn positions. I should have maybe captured here. Yeah, I should have captured there first and then queen up here. Or whatever. Management was gone by the end of the day. I love that line. Whatever. Typical corporate scumbag. Okay. So, how do we assess this position? It's kind of position where you just want to hold a little bit, but this pawn is difficult to hold on to. So we have to be prepared that we might have to let him go. Maybe it makes sense to put the knight to good use in other directions. Attack two loose pieces at the same time. Win a pawn. We're probably going to lose this pawn anyway, so it's just to keep the balance at the end of the day. He should be moving this instantly. I don't know why he hasn't. Whatever. Management wants to go on by the end of the day. So looks like we could get some counterplay, counter considerations here. It's looking quite nice actually. The knight has a lot of scope, doing a multi-purpose job. Want to be a little bit careful not to get into pressure there. So I'm going to take it with the queen just to minimize the risk. I've already foregone this one. Maybe let's take it off. Oh, I have to manage this knight. I have to hold on to the knight somehow. That's not going to be that easy, actually. Shit. Could be in a bit of trouble here. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may. At least we've got the knight under attack, but this is a decent square. It's attacking something and holding onto something, and it's a defended piece. So if we get the chance to move the knight out, we can do that maybe. But we will lose this pawn in the process. But that's the least of my worries here, honestly. So instead, we're getting into kind of like no man's land here. Uh, Potentially a very risky position. No clear way to handle it. We're just delaying the inevitable now, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Fine. We accept it and we move on. Let's not be too hasty. Let's try to reroute the bishop. This is a 1900 level player at the end of the day, so we have to keep that in mind when assessing things. But he's keeping it simple, and that's to his credit. To his credit indeed. Keeping it simple, just snipping off the pawns, snipping off the pieces. All part of the plan, isn't it? All part of the plan. So when you're behind, you need to pull a rabbit's hat out of a magic wand or whatever the crap the saying is. What do you do? How do you do it? Well, the truth is, nobody knows. But complexity always helps. Live pawns always helps. You can always put some threats, make it complicated. And the difference between a high level player and a mid level player is the ability to handle complexity at the end of the day. And of course, some people just they buckle under the pressure as well. Uh, not saying every game will be that way for you guys, but certainly it was the case here. And now it's just, even though it's even material, I think psychologically it's just going to be too devastating to handle this. And this past pawn is, yeah, psychologically it was a bit too much for him to deal with that. Unfortunate.